Hi, welcome to my day. I was thinking last night if this ends up not being Lyme disease for some reason, I'm gonna have to change my heading to crazy, chronically ill for no apparent reason. I don't know. Anyway, I took another quarter of the Klonopin at 11:30 11:45 when I always wake up go to sleep at 10 and an hour and a half later I'm awake to go to the bathroom and awake. So I just took it to see if and I slept, but I was awake by 5 again, or a little bit before 5, and it didn't change any of that. I didn't sleep longer, and that was with half a milligram. Keep my eyes shut a lot because I'm very woozy and very dizzy. Very. But that's been the case for a while now. Extremely dizzy and woozy. But I will say that after I vlogged my last vlog last night, I decided to put my shoes on, my boots on, and my coat on, and I went to Walmart. I was okay. I was never am I good. Never. But I had to go out and get Epsom salts. I mean, Sid would have drove me. I just said, no, I'm going to just do this. So I had to get Epsom salts. I had to get hair dye because I'm going to be coloring my hair this weekend. And a couple other things for my mom. Oh, I had to get my mom some grocery items. And then I went over to her apartment and dropped them off, put them away, and came home. It was okay. It was just okay. I'm going to go on the treadmill right now. Did that even come out right? Treadmill. I'm going out to get on the treadmill. And as woozy and dizzy as I am, but I'm just going to do it because I haven't gone in the last 2 days. And then when I come back on, I'll try to go over more of the things that she had suggested I start doing. And I called my Lyme literate doctor in Connecticut and asked, because she had written all the things she wanted done for blood work on his little prescription that he had written, and he just had CBC. And she didn't think she could do that. She was just writing it down, but said, you got to call and see if he'll rewrite a new one. And they said, no, she can just write whatever she wants on that one, and it will go through. So I put a call into her to let her know, to make sure it is still okay with her too. But then I'll just go get blood drawn later today when Sid gets home, or maybe tomorrow. I'll just do it as soon as possible, get it over with. My daughters and I have our once a month. Remember last month on the 19th for my birthday, we went out and we decided that we would do this once a month. So that's Friday. So Lord willing, we're going to get together on Friday, Tierney, Brittany, and I. And I think we decided, and I don't know if I mentioned this, that we're just going to go hang out at Brittany's house, wear our jammies or our leisure wear, and order some food and just have a girls' evening together, which I look forward to. I love my kids. I love my kids. I love my grandkids. I adore them. And I was telling this nurse yesterday, once she met Sid, she fell right in love. I had told her, I go, you're going to like my husband. Everybody likes my husband. Well, he had come in and spent time with us and watched her examine me and stuff. And then he left to take the dogs for a walk. And when he walked out, he was like, you're right. Your husband is great. You have a great husband. I go, yeah. And I have equally great kids. I said, she goes, because it sounds like, he's so supportive of you. And I said, yes. And my kids are too. So my family is very supportive. I don't have any, I can't come up with words anymore. I don't have any, resistance. They all 100% are there for me, which I'm so blessed. And I should be so grateful. So I look forward to Friday. I just wish I wasn't feeling like this. I just wish I could be engaged 100% instead of this weirdness. I had told her yesterday, she's good friends with my GP. Not good friends, but she's friends with my GP. And I think I said this last night. And the head of the practice, who I've seen him also. And actually, he called her while she was here, because I guess they have a lot of the same patients. Anyway, and I had told her, I said, yeah, Paul called, because she had mentioned him. And I said, yes, I shouldn't say his name. Blow Blow. One of the last times he saw me, he said, Lainey, you are one of the healthiest sick people I've ever met. I said, what do you mean? He goes, because you look so good. You look so good. But and he didn't deny I was sick. And he goes, but I know you're really sick, but you never look sick. And I go, really? Mm-hmm. I can look sick. So she laughed, and then I made some mention about how old I was. And she said, wait a minute, what? And she's looking at her paper. She goes, you're how old? And I said, I'm 59. She goes, oh my God, Paul's right. You look good. I would never guess you that. And I'm like, oh, you're being very kind, but you're also a liar and full of crap. And she said, no, you look really good. And I go, and she goes, but that's the thing about these illnesses, is that they can be so deceiving. I said, but see, I don't look good. If anyone thinks this looks good, please have your head examined, because this does not look good. Anyway, I'm rattling on again, as I always do. So when I come back off the treadmill and I regroup enough to be able to read off the stuff that she's suggested, I will. Okay? See you in a little while. Hello. Just finished the treadmill. All right. So here's just some of the stuff that she had gone over with me. So my husband's going out today or in the next day or two to get the Thorn Methyl Guard, which is a B complex. And we're getting it locally because she said if you go ahead and have the reaction of increased anxiety, palpitations, blah, 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 then you can just return it. So the Methyl Guard, Thorn, B6, B12, B whatever. I told you about the castor oil pack, which is a cold pressed castor oil that I'll be putting on my lymph nodes. You rub it on, and then you get into an Epsom salt bath, and you submerge and let the warm water come over to the oil. And apparently that's what pulls out the inflammation. I'm to be taking 1 tablespoon of coconut oil a day, right off the spoon. She told me to think about and consider and research pelvic floor PT, because I am waking up several times a night to pee, especially that 11:30 to 12 o'clock midnight every single night. There's more. I haven't gotten her email yet, so there's more. As far as the blood work, my Lyme doctor had written for a CBC and CMP. She wants Coxsackie, because I was diagnosed with Coxsackie twice in the last, not this last year, but the year before, I had Coxsackie twice. So she wants, but I was never tested. They just diagnosed it by symptoms. So she wants the Coxsackie B, AB. Never even heard of it. HHV, I think that's a 6. HHV6. A stool sample for parasitical fungus bacteria. Thyroid panel with auto antibodies. I thought I had thyroid panel, but when she looked at my lab, she said that's not what we need. We need this thyroid panel with auto antibodies. The CD57, the mono IgG and IgG MMA, that's what it was for the B12. MMA, B12, B6, folate. And then she's got homocysteine. So that's, and she also wrote a note because she didn't think this was going to go through. She didn't think that we could use his prescription. She wrote increased number of and quality of lymph I can't read her writing, supraclavicle avelia post infracervical nodes. That's just a notation, I guess. So that's what I have so far. Again, because my Quest lab comes up negative for everything, just negative. My IGeneX comes back with 31 and 41 being the only two positive bands for Lyme. Even on IGeneX, they have changed their criteria, and it says that if you have two, it's a positive. But underneath it says if it's only 31 and 41, you should have blah blah test to verify, which I never did. So the 31 and 41 are not, it just means that I could have been exposed at some point in my life. It does not mean I have active Lyme in my body. And I've said that right along. But I guess because I present, you go by a physical diagnosis. And again, the Babesia and Bartonella, I come up with 80. That, I read that to you before. It means you may have it. It does not mean you have it. Below 80, or was it 60? I don't remember. I'm not going to pull the paper out. But anyways, below that, I think a 40 was you absolutely don't have it. Then that number that I have, which is, I think, an 80, means you may have it. And then above 80 is you absolutely have it. So none of my labs say I absolutely have anything. And I have these two severe symptoms that I'm not finding anyone else that has it, which is the neuropathy. I mean, complete neuropathy in my feet, 24/7. People will say they'll get the tingly every now and then and comes and goes. No, this is not that. This is complete neuropathy in my feet and the lymph node problem, which, I remember him, I think I said this last night, that my Lyme doctor had me do a thyroid scan because he felt something over on this side. It's a lymph node. And I think I said this, and she said it's because it's so close to that thyroid. I could see why he would have thought it was a nodule on your thyroid, but it's a lymph node. If you really, really feel, and I mean, she's the first person outside of the PA that I was seeing before he left the practice. She's the second person in my life that actually really, took the time and counted and felt each one, and under my armpits and in here and in my groin and in my stomach, and really, really examined my body. And that's when she was finding them. Under my armpit, she's feeling around, and I go, oh, it's not horrible. I go, oh, it's a little tender right there. And she goes, right there, right? And I'll go, yeah. And she goes, swollen lymph node. That's your node. I'm feeling, and I don't even feel it. Guess I can now because I know exactly where it is. But anyway, I'm not saying I don't have Lyme. Don't anyone, please, my bestest friends, please don't come on and start screaming at me. Especially Julie, because she and I have gone around the bend 14 different times. All I know is that deep inside of me, I have constantly felt like there's something else. There's an infection somewhere. She also had asked, when they did the MRI, they never saw any lesions on your brain. And you'd think if you had Lyme this severe, because people I read all the time, yeah, there was lesions. When they were severe, neuro Lyme. She goes, so I'm not saying you absolutely would have to have lesions on your brain, but if you're this severe, you would think that they would have found some lesions, and they didn't. She asked about if I had ever had a spinal tap, and I said no, of course. Asked if I had seen a cardiologist. No, of course. Because my blood pressure's so flipped out. And I wasn't even aware that it was that flipped out. I know that, well, I was. I mean, I go to the doctor and it's really high and come home and it's low and it never stays stable. But anyway, so that's my update. God, the antibiotics do not. She was trying to listen to the aortic. Trying to listen to my heart. Can't talk. And my stomach was making so much noise. She couldn't hear anything over my stomach. She's like, wow. She goes, did you eat lunch? And I go, yeah. That has nothing to do with whether I'm hungry or full. My stomach is constantly doing that. So I already know about leaky gut. I know my gut's a mess. She told me to do my very best to go 100% gluten-free, because I told her, well, I'm gluten-free, but I'm not 100%. She made a comment that if you eat gluten, it takes 8 days to your body to rid that out of your system. I didn't know that. She goes, one little thing of gluten and it takes 8 days. She goes, so really try your hardest to just be 100% gluten-free. She goes, and then the bad news is we have to visit the going dairy free, which I told her, I go, I'm addicted to cheese and I have nothing that makes me happy. Not that cheese makes me happy, but it satisfies me. I mean, it's like somebody who's a chocoholic, take their chocolate away. I just have to have cheese. But we're not going to do that right now. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The treadmill was rough, but right after I get off, it seems like my head is a little clearer. Don't ask me why, but it will come back. I just know it will, because that's just how I am. So I'll see you later. So I got industrious and I opened up my husband's closet and cleaned it out. He had a job in finance that he had to wear a suit and tie every single day. He no longer does that job and will never go back to that kind of job. And also has gained some girth. So I went through all his dress shirts and all his ties and all his stuff and bagged it up to go to the rescue mission. And that took quite a while. And then I had to go through all his t-shirts and his button-down shirts that he does wear and go through all that and see what he still wears and what he doesn't. Got trash bags full of clothes. But I did it. Of course. These are killing. My husband went to the health food store. I think he just got home, as a matter of fact. I think I just heard the garage. To pick me up the castor oil and the Thorn B complex that she wants me to try taking. So I'm supposed to rub the castor oil, cold pressed castor oil on the lymph nodes. I'm not going to rub them on all of them. I'm going to rub them on the ones that are so hurting so bad. And then you're supposed to get in an Epsom salt bath. Submerge so the water goes up over. And that apparently is supposed to like bring the inflammation down and shrink the nodes a little bit. So, have you seen one of these in a long time? The banana clip? Huh? That's from the, what, 80s? This is from the 80s. I still have them. I mean, not still. They still sell them, and I don't know. I like them. But, anyways, I'm almost done. I'll be done with it in another day. And then my daughter will have a beautiful new scarf to rub up them. And we're supposed to have girls. I don't know what I do. Anyways, we're supposed to have girls' night, Friday night together. And I'm going to have them help me color my hair back to brown. So anyways, the day has not been complete waste. I spent quite a bit of time in my husband's closet, and now I'm doing this and listening to Bob Lonsberry. And I'm just, I'll be in my bed the rest of the day, rest of the night. These hurt. They're just so sore. So sore. Somebody had asked me if the EBV comes up positive, will that make me disregard the Lyme diagnosis? No. It certainly will put a chink or a clink or a chink in the chain, because that makes more sense. EBV. I don't think I have it, though. I really don't. But, you know, weirder things have happened, so I haven't heard back from her yet about getting the codes for these blood tests I need done so I can go and get the blood drawn. If I don't hear from her, I'll call again tomorrow. Sure she's busy. She spent practically 3 hours with me. I'm sure she's busy with other people today. But anyways, because I'd like to get the blood drawn ASAP and get the results of this ASAP so I can move on with the next thing. There's a very good possibility that I'm going to be referred to a surgeon, because that's what the PA I had been seeing wanted me to do. Not this last summer. Was it last winter? About a year ago, I think. He wanted to have me be seen because he thought these needed to be biopsied. And that was when they were much smaller than they are now. They're way worse now. And there's more of them. I mean, right here. This one. Now they're coming up in the front. This one. Right there. There's all over. Trying to figure out if I should even go back to the chiropractor, because this is clearly not a structural thing. It's not my neck that's causing this pain right here. We thought it might have been the herniated discs. It's not. I mean, the herniated discs aren't helping it, but the pain is from the lymph nodes, so I'm sorry. So I thought I'd pop in and let you know what was going on. My husband would be shocked when he opens up his closet. We have shelves in his closet. I have a dresser and a closet. Being a female, I need more space. He just has the closet, but in the closet he has, one side is all hanging stuff, and then on the other side it's all shelves. So he puts his underwear and socks. I put his underwear and socks and shirts and blah, blah, blah. And it's all nice and neat and folded and rolled, and so he'll be shocked when he opens up the closet and it's like, oh, you were industrious today. So I got something done. I wanted to get into the sauna, but I'm not gonna, so I'll try to do that tomorrow. Definitely gonna do the Epsom salt with the castor oil though. And it's snowing, and it's supposed to snow about 4 more inches. Yeah, that's what we need, more snow. So I was jealous of Jen, who was saying it was, I don't know what she said it was, 40 where she was. 40 would feel like a heat wave to me too. And actually I think by Saturday we're supposed to hit around 40. And that will feel very nice. But I literally watch on my weather app, because it tells you each day that you add a minute to the sunlight that you have. In other words, when the sun goes down. And each time I see that, we've moved more and more. It's like, yes, yes, winter's going away. Winter's going away. Not that I'm any better in the summer, but at least I can get out of the house. And I can sit out at the pool. And again, I don't really love that either, but it's just a different, you know. Being cooped up in the cold house is... gross. Oh, no, I'm not going to share. I'm just going to tell you, when she was doing my exam yesterday, she was freaking me out because she was finding things, because of course she's never seen me, so my upper abdomen, I was laying flat, and she said, is this rash, is this a new rash? Is this what you've always had? And I'm like, you know, like, what are you talking about? And it just looked like a bunch of freckles. And she goes, is that new? And I go, honestly, I don't know. It looks like it's always been. What is my hair doing? Oh, it didn't get in the clip. And I'm like, stop looking, because you keep finding more stuff on me. Like, oh my God. And there's something else, but I can't even tell you because it's just too crazy. I said, I don't know if I should laugh or cry at this point, things she was finding on me. But something I want to make note of, and I forgot to mention it to her. My time frame is so bad. I'd have to look back at my journals. But I believe it was 2 years ago, and I have a picture of it. I can even show you the picture of it. I don't know how to put a picture into my video. But I was in the shower, and I got out of the shower, and I was drying off, and I felt this, sharp pain. And I'm trying, and it was right where you can barely reach. So I'm looking in the mirror, and this big red boil right on my back. Out of nowhere. One day I was fine. Next day I go downstairs and I'm like, Sid, what is this thing on my bed? And he's like, holy crap, is that a pimple? And he tries popping it. And the excruciating pain, because I can have anything popped. By the way, I love Dr. Pimple Popper. But anyway, it was so inflamed. And of course, stuff came out. But I was like, stop, because it hurt so bad. And I went to the doctor. And he said, oh, you need to see a surgeon because that needs to be incised. And so I went to the surgeon. And he said, I think that's a sebaceous cyst. And it looks infected. So sure enough, he numbed me all up and cut it. And I didn't get to see it, but apparently tons of pus came flying out. And then he covered it in antibiotic, and I had to be on antibiotic for a week. And then it went away. So it wasn't a sebaceous cyst, because a sebaceous cyst would have left it's like a little pocket that needs to be dug out. My husband had one on his chest once. But that was a weird thing, having that just pop out of my skin like that. Does that have anything to do with my health history? I don't know. Just another weird thing. I'm sure people have weird things like that happen all the time. I'm just saying I seem to have more weird things than other people. So I'm going to go back to knitting and listening to Bob Lonsberry. And that's what I'm doing. Talk to you later. Bye. Just wanted to pop in one last time. I'm going to go put my castor oil pack. You're supposed to saturate a piece of flannel. I don't have a piece of flannel unless I want to cut up one of Sid's shirts, but and then apply it over the area with heat. Well, she said to just do that and then soak in the tub. So I'm on my way in. My oldest daughter's flipping out and saying, I want you to call the doctor tomorrow. I want you to get in and get those biopsied. And I'm like, honey, I've had them for a long time. So, you know, time is on my side at this point, as far as I'm concerned. Never heard back from the doctor, so I don't even know if they were in the office today. The nurse practitioner, I should say. Because I need the codes for this blood work. And once she gives me the codes, this one's getting really big. Wow. This is a relatively new one, and it's really big and getting nodule. What was I going to say? So, because I just want to, I mean, literally, LabCorp is right around the corner from my house, and I just want to go get this blood drawn and get an answer in the next couple days and move on and see what I'm supposed to do next, because anyway, I'm going to go get in the Epsom salt bath with my castor oil pack. It's recommended by Edgar Casey's Readings. I don't know anything about it. Okay, Lord willing, I'll see you again tomorrow. God bless.